Shweta. Thanks for joining. Hey. Hello, everybody. Hey, hi.
Good evening, Vanna. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Kirti?
I'm very good. I'm very excited for today's session and so happy
I'm
to see
so
you.
nervous today.
You're amazing. You're amazing at work.
I hope. I'm just waiting for people to join in.
Yes, we'll wait for some viewers to join in.
Yes. I hope my voice and everything is clear.
Perfect. Am I
Perfect.
audible? Is my voice, video quality, everything is good? Frame?
Yes. Things are fine. Perfect. I was a little worried about my voice quality.
Alright. It's perfect. It's perfect. You probably can put your phone on silent.
Yeah, that is what I just realized.
Yeah. You're one busy lady. I'm sure people would be calling you up.
Probably I'm that Kaidi who gets free after 7. Usually. Yes, Sharad is writing. My friend.
Thank you so much. Great.
So,
Thank you everybody for joining in. चलिए शुरू किया जाए.
yes.
Great. So we will keep waiting for other people to join in and जो लोग हमसे जुड़े हुए हैं, let's start today's beautiful session planned for the day, for the evening, I would say. And I'm hoping everybody has their cup of tea and cup of coffee with them. And let's sit back and enjoy today's session with Vandana ji. She's an expert in her forte. So today's topic is around creating a safe workplace environment, and a discussion will be around preventing the prevention of sexual harassment. So before we start with today's session, I would like you, Anna ji, to please introduce yourself and let us know your journey so far.
Kirti. Okay, so giving you a brief introduction about myself. I am co-founder and chief consultant of the Unicorn People, which is an HR consulting firm. It's a new age HR consulting firm. Since we are new age HR business partners working together on that platform. And apart from this, I'm also a Government of India nominated resource person. And as a responsibility, my job is to manage sexual harassment cases at workplace. So that's in nutshell about me. And thank you for having me here. And I would request you to briefly introduce about yourself also.
Sure, absolutely. And I would say thanks to you. And I'm very happy to collaborate on these topics. Brief introduction about myself. I'm working as a social emotional counselor, consultant, and I'm basically into training, which is in and around psychology. And I absolutely love my work. And this is something which comes from inside, and it's my driving force. So I'm very blessed to have worked with a lot of communities and prison settings, with college, schools, professors, all of these things. I absolutely love it. And that's a little snippet about my work. But jumping on to the topic, I'm sure everybody is very excited for today's unique topic, because this is something we usually don't see, especially in the Instagram live sessions. And I'm very happy to collaborate with you for this particular topic around creating a safe work environment. Talking about it, a little bit, I think it's very important to create that safety whenever we are at work, because everybody has their dreams and aspirations of working in a maximum potential manner, so that उनका productivity बहुत increase हो. And if that environment is created, वो I think वो सोने पे सुहागा होगा, and we will be able to perform in much better manner. What's your say on that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the choice of topic for Posh, when I actually thought Posh, if I actually break down the word, is prevention of sexual harassment. Okay.
Right.
And I am today my, session, I would not be focusing much on the legal aspect of it, but I would focus more from an awareness perspective, because that's where India is lacking big time, and back that up, I actually created a poll question on our Insta page last night. Before I could sleep, I was like, let me just create this to get an understanding of what is the real picture. While I do see there are so many reports which publish that the awareness is something which is, it is actually majorly missing across corporates, and it is not just in India, it is across the world, because right now the focus, if you see in India, the population is growing every day. Okay, and so is the number of people who are joining workforce on a daily basis. Right. So now when a person joins a workforce, the minimum expectation that somebody has is that he or she could function without any fear. Okay. A safe place, wherein I can focus only on my work, my career, my productivity, so that, I'm able to contribute to the entire economy positively and drive the organizational productivity, because that's the biggest goal. And while organizations hire us, they have the goal of productivity and meeting their targets, and we as employees, when we join corporates, our expectation is that we have a career which is growing, and it can only grow when I am not afraid of anything and I am working fearlessly towards achieving my goal.
Right.
Hence, I took this topic because I know a lot has to be discussed. And I will share the poll reports also very soon, as on when we proceed.
Yes, absolutely. Even I'm excited to know what the poll results tell us. And like you have mentioned, and it's a very very valid point, कि fear बहुत ज़्यादा है इस सब चीज़ को लेकर, and awareness नहीं है. And जो stigma create होता है, I think the best solution to stigma or fear is to provide awareness. Once we know about something, we don't have that fear. Because fear usually unknown का होता है, जो हमें नहीं पता, right? If
exactly,
we ask
just
somebody
like the coronavirus.
Absolutely, that is exactly how the governments respond. Yes, correct. That is how the governments also responded. हम लोग सब दुखी हो गए थे caller tune सुन के, but that was an attempt of creating awareness so that we know basics and we are prepared for it in a better manner. And I think हम दोनों की intention आज ये session design करने की exactly यही है, और हमारी कोशिश रहेगी हम सब चीजें simplified form में viewers को बता पाए, so that it's not too heavy, not too technical. We have expert like Vanna over here with an amazing set of experiences, and I'm sure you can give us great insights. So I will request all the viewers, अगर आपको session के during कुछ भी questions आते हैं मन में और comments आते हैं, please feel free to write them to us, and we will cover that up. Moving on to some sort of statistics, आप कुछ share करना चाहते हैं with respect to India or world as to how is sexual harassment at workplace statistically, क्या हाल है इसका?
Well, I'm not a fan of stats, to be honest, okay? But then statistics has always scared the world, okay?
Right.
But that also shows the true picture, okay? I know if you see, I don't know, a lot of people in the industry, once this Me Too campaign came into picture, I know it gained a lot of negative publicity, okay, in India specifically and across the world too. And we will discuss it at length today. And but then after that, there has been 14%. In the last year, we had like in the year for the year 2018, the number of cases reported were at around 11%. Okay. However, due to the Me Too campaign, which happened in 2019 and towards the end of 2018, there has been a rise in the number of cases which have been reported, and it is now at a 14%. And while people might look at it negatively, like people, since the number of sexual harassment cases are growing, but being a girl, okay, and I don't think being a girl also is required, because I don't think sexual harassment is dependent on any gender. Anybody can be subject to this situation. And so being an employee, I have been subject to certain scenarios myself, wherein the person who is going through the situation is so scared, so afraid of defamation, the entire fear of defamation, losing the job, getting transferred, losing money, being a gossip topic, kind of everybody's so scared around it. मतलब मेरे बारे में अगर मैंने ये बोल दिया तो लोग, people will start asking questions to me and other stuff, so much that the amount of reporting, if you say the number of cases which are reported is not even 20% globally, not even 20% of the total number of cases which is happening. And that is something that this kind of awareness session can actually help people to come out of their shells and face it.
Right. That's a very surprising number. Like you've mentioned, only 20% of the cases are reported. And I'm sure whatever we see on statistical sites and government websites, whatever, it is a completely different picture. Reality is very, very different from what we see all throughout. Yes. I would like you to shed some light about the fact what exactly is sexual harassment and how do we identify if somebody is subjected to it.
So while there is a legal definition to it, but I would say in simple language, anything which is like an unwelcome of sexual nature, any behavior, conduct, okay, it can be physical, it can be verbal, or it can be non-verbal, okay, is classified under sexual harassment. So साफ सिंपल बात में, अगर आपको कोई आपत्तिजनक स्थिति लगती है जहां पे आपको ऐसा लगता है कि सामने वाला आपके ऊपर सेक्सुअल नेचर की कमेंट्स कर रहा है, चाहे वो आपको छुए या तो फिजिकली टच करे आपको, या फिर he or she is actually making comments, or they are actually going ahead and making non-verbal remarks. कुछ भी हो, इन मेजरली ये 3 चीजें हैं जिनको मद्देनजर रखते हुए the act has been framed. Okay, so this is not, I won't say I'm actually saying the exact legal words, and the reason, as I told you initially also, that I want to keep it for a common person to understand, so that everybody can relate to it. And when I say unwelcome is something which you don't like, and I know the act itself says that this situation can be very person specific. Yes, I know, and there is a lot of discussion around it.
Right.
What do you feel? Okay, definitely I am going to speak in English.
Yes,
I
we
think
will
there is a
switch
request.
to English. No worries.
Yes. So
Rashi has asked that
Okay.
could you share an example of non-verbal or behavioral sexual harassment?
Yes, definitely. In fact, I was actually going to share that myself. But before that, I would, mention there are 5 things which can actually define a sexual harassment situation. Okay, as I told, it is physical contact or advances, a demand or request of sexual favors. Like somebody is asking, I will give you promotion if you go on a date with me. or I'm saying this is like a very simple, straightforward thing. However, in real life, these kind of straightforward situations don't occur. Rarely occur, in fact. I would say rarely occur. People have become very smart and they make intended comments which will mean something else, and another thing which is very very famous around in the corporate world is making sexually colored remarks. Okay. And now showing pornography it is very legit that obviously showing pornography will classify under sexual harassment, but making sexually colored remarks, people usually try to get away with it because stating that this is not what I intended, and hence the act is more on what the person feels rather than the intention.
Right.
And to answer Rashi's question, again, non-verbal, remark, can be somebody, as I told, making sexually colored remarks, showing as simple as going ahead and showing fingers, pointing fingers, or, doing cracking jokes, double meaning jokes, very, very common, wherein, and and sexist jokes, again, another very common thing which happens. And if you don't really relish or enjoy it, then you become behenji type.
Right. And that's something which is usually seen, especially when people crack jokes and other people laugh. You're sort of giving them a green signal to do that again. And it just boils up into some other part as well. Does cyber-related stalking or blackmailing also is included in the Sexual Harassment Act? Because I recently read, I'm sure it's not of this age group. This girl was around 16 or 17. I think yesterday she reported to 1098 Child Helpline that she was stalked online and blackmailed by a boy. So just coming from that area, I want to ask, is online stalking and all these things also covered under Sexual Harassment Act?
Yes, yes. In fact, I want to highlight, considering the work from home situation these days, I had once I resolved a case in which, we do a lot of video conferencing, and that's to in, okay? And so this guy who was, operating from a different location, whenever I'm meeting, he used to, privately send chat on WebEx. Again, this is like a WebEx teleconferencing, which is happening in a very big US based organization. And so what happens is that the person keeps on sending texts, on personal chat window, like, what are you wearing? You're looking really nice in this, and that kind of an appreciative. And which was really not required because it was a totally business meeting which is happening, and the person was not focusing on business meeting. Rather than doing that, the person was busy, yeah, that's a kind of stalking. Okay, and it qualifies for stalking, and it definitely is covered under sexual harassment. And you mentioned blackmailing. Yes, that is also considered under black. There are two major forms. Again, there's some criticalities which I will have to quote, guys. So please excuse me for being too bookish for there, because there, you can't really get away with those terminologies. Okay, one is wherein you have quid pro quo. Okay, this for that is the meaning of quid pro quo. That's one form of sexual harassment. That is, you do this, I will give you this. So that's this for that is the real answer. And the form of sexual harassment is wherein it, a hostile work environment is created. Like, often it is seen when a newbie walks into an office, or somebody who dresses really well and is pleased and looks really good, man or women or any gender for that matter. People definitely go ahead and check them out top to bottom, and it does make the person really, really, uncomfortable. But we don't realize, because we as a society think, oh, we can judge and check them out.
Right. And I think, thank you for this technical information. And since we're trying to keep it as simple as possible, I would request all the viewers, if you really want to understand these intricacies and the technical training, please do write into Vanna's The Unicorn People page. And she will definitely be coming up with some training around that. Or if not, I will definitely ask you to do that. And this session will be basically touching upon the surface and trying to understand in a simplified manner. You have very rightly pointed out the part of cyber, related issues. With this lockdown period and all the work from home culture, it's super important for everybody to know that this is also our workplace when we are sitting with our laptops and trying to do our work. And probably next session we will try to focus specifically on the freelancing and the consultancy part, wherein we can focus on that area. And having said about how jokes and all these things are made, I think society also plays a very big role. The fact that movies and advertisements, all these things are made in a way that they sort of objectify women is very sad. Recently, I came across this Times of India article where they very clearly laid down that, girls are not chikni chameli. They are not tandoori murgi to be eaten. They used all the Bollywood cheap song titles and wrote it down. And then, they said, dude, this is not what woman is. You cannot objectify them. It was such a nice, bold article because it was slap on the face of lyrics and the Bollywood in its own, how they portray women in a very bad light. And I think through all these awareness programs, we will try and create an environment where we question whatever we are consuming as people, so that we don't, this is obviously one of the factors how we think in a wrong manner. We will come on to the victim psychology and everything. But since we started
in fact, my sessions usually which I conduct for corporates start with these Bollywood songs. And my favorite is Tu Cheez Badi Hai Mast Mast.
Yes. Shah Rukh Khan, I have always been a very great fan of Shah Rukh Khan. I remember dancing on all his Bollywood songs, but trust me, when I grew up and I really understood the lyrics, I was like, oh my God, I'm really ashamed of what he has been dancing on. Because, and he is not the only one to be blamed, it's the entire industry as a whole. But yes, things are changing. Movies like Thappad has come up, and there are a lot of good movies which are now coming up. And
yes. So you can see that growing awareness.
Yes.
In fact, there are very few people who really talked in Bollywood about the kind of sexual harassment that they face, and they in fact think that the sexual harassment is built in the film industry and in the fashion industry just because they are wearing skimpy dresses, or they are either involved in kissing scenes. But what I am amazed now. Even though a lot of people criticize Me Too, but right now, believe me, there are people who were guilty and they really know where to draw a line, and they know that the women of the 21st century or the men of the 21st century, because the men and women both had come out in Me Too, and it just proves that whatever is your gender, you can be a subject to sexual harassment, and there is no point in shaming yourself and scaring and fearing of these people, because they actually feed upon your fear.
Correct. Wow.
So
that's a very powerful line.
Yes. The predator feeds upon the fear of the person whom they are actually troubling and harassing day and night. So there's no point in losing your sleep for someone who really doesn't value humanity.
Right.
Because right to equality or right to dignity is something which is under our fundamental rights. And if as humans we can't respect each other's fundamental rights, then I think we have a question on your humanity.
Correct. And you very rightly pointed out, and I would like to repeat that statement in a different manner, that these sort of awareness programs is for both men and women, irrespective of gender, rather. Let's not even talk about sex, but it's about the entire gender scale. everybody, because anybody can be subjected to things like that, and there can be incidences where we, because of lack of knowledge, we may throw some jokes or some words in a wrong manner without even realizing, and probably the other person is okay with it, but you should know that this is not the right way of conduction, especially in a workplace environment or wherever, in fact. So it's very, very important for everybody to undergo such awareness programs and trainings, irrespective of which gender we belong to. Could you also shed some light about the POSH Act that we're talking about? Just a brief introduction about it. Also, I remember reading it somewhere that it is also gender neutral, because we see a lot of cases where probably, the women misuse the act to sort of play around with the other person. So I want to understand from the other perspective that everything is taken care of, and if false acquisitions are made, that is also being taken care of by ICC. Could you share some? Yes.
Definitely. In fact, the law has become very stringent. Okay, for each case which is reported in bad faith. Okay, that is the terminology which they use. It is used in is reported in bad faith and is found not to be legit. The person who is raising the complaint is also subjected to equal, punishment. That's the scenario. In fact, to give you a little more about the act talks about prohibition, prevention, and redressing. Everything. Okay, so it is not just related to doing one thing. It is all the three of it, and there is an internal committee. Okay, internal committee is a committee which is which is around 4 members team. Okay, and usually they are the one who are supposed to investigate. In government of India has made it compulsory for all organizations with more than 10 employees. Okay, working. They have to have a POSH policy, and they must have an internal complaints committee, and they must have an external member who can actually guide the committee through the session, and it is again mandatory for the corporate to conduct awareness sessions for its employees, as well as train the IC, because IC is not trained enough to do investigations. Okay, so they have to be trained so that they can handle cases sensitively and do the required. There's a lot of responsibility, and the internal policy which the organizations are making, they are now gender agnostic. So it does, although I know the act is only for women, and there is a petition already in the Supreme Court, and that men have to be included and other genders also have to be included in the act. Okay, so but then the policy is, because these investigations are now done keeping both the things in mind. So it is both the act as well as the internal organizational policy. So if there is a person who is, managing a small or medium enterprise, or you are working as a freelancer with any of the enterprises, please be aware of your rights. Okay, and in a scenario the organization fails to do that, the government can charge a penalty of 50,000, and if they repeat it, then it can also lead to the termination of their business licenses. So it is the only compliance wherein Government of India is so serious about providing safe workplaces that they have actually come up with cancellation of business license, and that is what has induced finally some fear in the corporate world.
Right. That's pretty amazing to see such a great structure in place. However, one question which is coming in my mind is, what happens to those organizations where the employee number size is less than 10? So how if there is any case in an organization,
so
how would they report?
So there are two ways. Okay, now there is a local committee, LCC. Okay, wherein they can actually go ahead and report it directly to them. or they don't have to go anywhere. For women specifically, working in any sector, in a scenario, they want to report a case, they have an online portal known as SheBox. It is available online and it is very, very user friendly. You can put in your case and then they can also follow the proceedings as to what is happening to your case. They will give you real time, information as to what is happening to your case, what is the situation, what is the action that they have taken. So it's an amazing thing. SheBox is an amazing tool, and this gives a lot of power to the women that they can actually go ahead and report cases in a scenario they don't trust anybody in their organization, or they are not confident whether their during the investigation there can be any any falsification or of information which can happen. So to avoid that, they can always write into SheBox, log in, create a case, and utilize it.
All right. That's pretty nice, and it gives me more clarity on it. And one more question which pops up in the head is, if a man is sexually harassed at workplace, that is, I suppose, is covered under IPC?
See, again, there are two things which is happening currently. A lot of organization, as I told you, progressive organization, have included in the policy that irrespective of who, anybody from any gender coming and reporting a case of sexual harassment will be dealt by the IC. Okay. However, there are certain organizations, since the act is only for women, are still dealing it under Grievance Act.
Okay.
Internal grievances, and the grievance committee usually resolves the issue. However, the penalty or the punishment to the predator is, to the accused, the respondent, I would say, because that is the right terminology. The act says, until you are proven you're not guilty. Okay, and hence the terminology of respondent comes into picture.
So it's complainant and the respondent.
Yes, it is complainant. Right. The person who comes to the committee and lodges a complaint is a complainant, and the person for whom the complaint has been lodged in and is supposed to reply is known as respondent.
All right. Those are some lighter terms to otherwise heavy things.
I know. So they are usually trying to come up with those terminologies which is like logical. Like you reply, so you're respondent. You complain, so you're complainant.
Yeah. That makes it a little easier for everything. So, thank you all the viewers for joining in. I would request you to write in any questions or concerns or comments, whatever you feel like. We will take that up as well. Talking about, sexual harassment against women in specific, we see patriarchal society is a very big factor which plays a role of this sort of a culture. According to you, why do you think these two things are related? And, how does it harm the entire mental space of work?
Okay. So now going back to our history. Okay. So historically, somehow the patriarchal society in which we live has termed that the gender male is more powerful, and I would say when it comes to hierarchy, it ranks higher than any other gender. And so they can actually, I would say exercise power on other genders. Okay. Now, gender hierarchy has always placed, because if you see, man is the person who is the breadwinner for the family, and they are actually responsible for running the entire family, and they have the final decision. They are the final decision makers. Okay, since I won't say it since early times. In fact, it started with the modern history. Okay, that's when men took over. Okay. Before that, it was more of a equal scenario.
Right.
Okay. So now, what happens? Naturally, male behavior, they consider this, flirtation as harmless. Okay. Now, and this, and then, if you might have seen, लड़के हैं ऐसा तो करेंगे ही, and if you are born and brought up in a household wherein you are two or three siblings and one is a guy, you will see आपको being a girl, you will do all घर का काम, okay, because that is the requirement, and because bhaiya is the boy of the house, he is supposed to get water, khana, everything in the hand, and you know that's how the patriarchal society is. And however, that's one side of it from a women's perspective, and that is the reason the struggle is so much, that because it is even proven that 85% of the sexual harassment cases, okay, not just workplace, I would say, and now this is something which is more of generic, okay, sexual harassment cases are done by somebody whom you know. So either your relative or a friend or your boss, or a colleague at work, anybody who whom you meet on a daily basis, okay, this is a very common scenario. And so, again, that leaves the girl with a question. If I come out and talk about it, who will trust me? Because the first thing that you get to hear, don't lie. The moment you come out and actually try to even tell your mother, there have been scenarios wherein you want to tell your family, to your parents, and you will say, just shut up and forget about it. On the other hand, I would really want you to also add in to here, because you have more understanding of psychology than me. So I would like you to tell us what a person undergoes once the person has been harassed sexually. What is the impact?
Yeah. So I think we need to look at it from a holistic point of view. As to when somebody is coming up to you and sharing something, firstly, we should not be judgmental, and we should not reach conclusions suddenly.
Correct.
Also, we must not label a person, because you don't know the truth. At times, what we usually do is we just label the person. Oh my God, she's always complaining. Oh my God, she's just like that. We tend to put a label onto that person, and then the conversation does not go anywhere. So from the point of view of a social convoy, we should be very aware. We should have an active listening sort of a skill into us, so that we're able to at least give basic comfort. If we're not able to address the entire issue, at least give basic comfort to the person. The person who is the complainant, इसमें बहुत major role आता है आपका victim psychology का. Victimization जिसको बोलते हैं हम, shame करते हैं. Oh my God, this thing happened to you. जो कर रहा है उसको नहीं बोलेंगे, जिसके साथ हुआ है हम उसको ज्यादा बोलते हैं. You are probably weak. तुमने green signals दिए होंगे, तुमने ही कुछ किया होगा. It probably would be your fault. ना, वो सब कुछ होता है. And also there are times जैसे आपने बोला कि calling out is a problem, because we think the person who is in authority, we cannot stand against that person, and we have so many other things which may just go for a toss if we voice out our opinions. And I have directly seen certain cases like that, जिसमें लड़कियां बोल ही नहीं पाई, because of authority, all those issues. Guilt एक बहुत अजीब सा फैक्टर है, क्योंकि अगर हम सोसाइटी के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखें ना, औरतों को सिखाया जाता है कि कीप टॉलरेटिंग, एंड दे थिंक ऑफ इट लाइक एन आर्ट. मैं नारी शक्ति हूँ, और आई एम अ वुमन, सो आई हैव टू कीप टॉलरेटिंग till what extent?
And I have to be that perfect superwoman.
Yes. Until what extent? Do we know our boundaries? Tolerance is okay if it is to do with the child or छोटे मोटे issues है, तब tolerance ठीक है. But when there are grave issues, we should understand that वहाँ पे zero tolerance होनी बहुत जरूरी है. So we should know where to draw a line. And when we talk from the perspective of the respondent, like I'm using the same word which you have been using.
Respondent, yes.
और अगर हम एक मेल का पर्सपेक्टिव लेते हैं, again I am just picking up some incidences. मैं सबको नहीं बोल रही कि सब ऐसे होते हैं, but usually that is what even the research and everything in psychology says, कि जब किसी को किसी अगले के ऊपर पावर या अथॉरिटी दिखानी होती है, दैट इज द टाइम या तो वो हेल्दी तरीके से करेगा, और अगर हेल्दी तरीके से नहीं कर पाता तो वो अनहेल्दी तरीके निकालता है. सो यूजुअली पीपल हु practice sexual harassment basically want to show their authority onto the other person in, of course, it is a very unhealthy manner. I remember working in Tihar jail, and I did come across some inmates who were involved in sections around sexual harassment and rape. उनकी साइकी बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग थी. फ्रॉम द साइकोलॉजिकल पॉइंट सिर्फ वहीं से ही मैं बात कर रही हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत सारी थ्योरीज हैं सोसाइटी ने क्या किया, या बायोलॉजिकल कुछ इश्यूज हो सकते हैं, व्हाटएवर. जस्ट फ्रॉम साइकोलॉजी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, सपोज एक इनमेट है, लेट्स अज्यूम, उसने किसी लड़की का रेप किया. टर्न्स आउट वो उसकी गर्लफ्रेंड थी. एंड व्हेन वी ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डिड इट कम, और कैसे हुआ, इसके दिमाग में ये सब चीजें कैसे आई, इट बॉइल्ड डाउन टू वेरी स्मॉल थिंग, consent. When we asked him, do you know you are supposed to take consent even to touch the other person? नहीं, गर्लफ्रेंड थी, उससे थोड़ी पूछना है, जो करना था कर लिया और मैं निकल गया. He was practicing that sort of a thing over time. He did not even know कि consent लेना होता है क्या इसमें. Like, they start thinking we own the other person. So ये बहुत basic issues hai.
You actually brought in a very big thing with regards to marital consent and marital rape, which keep happening in India. In India, it's still not crime, and it continues to happen. And given the COVID situation, the scenarios have just increased in two-folds. That's really an unfortunate picture. And requires
across the world, it's not basic to India. It's very sad state that marital rape has increased. And I don't know इनमें से कितने रिपोर्ट होंगे. अब एटलीस्ट इस टाइम के ड्यूरिंग रिपोर्ट होने बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि लॉकडाउन चल रहा है एंड द सिचुएशन इज नॉट सो कंड्यूसिव. बट आई एम श्योर लॉकडाउन के बाद बहुत से ऐसे केसेस आएंगे, व्हिच इज अ वेरी वेरी सैड स्टेट. And that's across world, I think.
In fact, the Ministry of, because I work with the Ministry of Women and Child Development, okay, so they have actually set up this helpline, and they have actually ensured that their people are working from home, answering and counseling women on call, and against the entire harassment which is happening left, right, and center. This is something I know about India. They are working really very hard to provide some counseling and support, and they're also arranging facilities to see in a scenario that the women is going through a lot of domestic violence and is being beaten up. Then they're actually arranging alternate stay facilities for them as well.
Right. And I know a lot of people who are working with these helpline numbers. I also enrolled in the DCPCR COVID relief helpline. I could not aggressively work on it because of some timing issue. However, I have seen and heard of a lot of cases जो हमारा domestic violence, child abuse और इन सब से related आ रहा है, which is again a very sad state. But let's not deviate from the topic and come back to our session. We are basically trying to talk about how awareness and all these things play a very huge role, and what is the psychology behind both the complainant and the respondent, and what the victim for that matter, or the complainant for that matter, goes through during the process and even after the process. So I would also like you to shed some light about अगर कोई student है, या अगर कोई guest है, कोई किसी के घर जा रहा है, या just client है for that matter, sorry, client would be a better word. Or if there is a situation where a person is going for an interview, in those situations also does the act cover all these places as well?
Yes. The act covers everybody who is above the age of women who are above the age of 15 and working. And for when it comes to the act from workplace, okay, and so you have your full-timers, you have your part-timers, you have your contractual workforce, you have clients, you have guests, you even have students visiting your workplace, okay? And all of them, if they face a sexual harassment on, inside your premises, then you will have to deal with it. That's how stringent and inclusive the act is.
Right. And by talking about students, interns, and all these, part-time workers, interns, freelancers, consultants, all of them come into this umbrella.
All of them.
Let's focus on the question Kshitij Pathak has asked. In organizations, some comments are very lightly taken. How should one deal with that, both as on the receiving end and the observer? Amazing question. And being an observer also is very, very critical. जैसे हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि अगर आप पाप होता देख रहे हो तो आप equally उतने ही पापी हो. So it's as an observer also it's very important. Please.
Thank you for bringing up the observer point of view over here. Okay. Please understand all organizations are supposed to have an internal committee and an internal committee helpline number. Okay. Whenever you see such comments who clearly qualify under sexual nature, okay, being made as an observer on somebody else, please either ask the person to report, or if the person is not reporting, you can pick up the phone and report on behalf of the person. Yes, please do that. Because people usually make, lewd remarks and loose comments and just try to get away from it. And in fact, I want to also highlight something as common in India as body shaming. Repeatedly, if you are making those comments, okay, on somebody's body shape, structure, is also gonna qualify under sexual harassment.
Okay.
Because it is important to remember that it made the person uncomfortable. 3 questions that you are supposed to ask. It made me uncomfortable. If I am experiencing it, did it make me uncomfortable? Okay. If it made me uncomfortable, then what am I supposed to do? If it is, and you think it is of sexual nature, is it qualifying under sexual nature? Yes. Then there are only 2 questions that you're supposed to ask. It is, it is impacting me and making me feel uncomfortable and is of sexual nature. Please go ahead and complain. Put a complaint. And there are times when there are a lot of questions around gray areas also, like okay, now one very common issue which comes to corporate, okay, and have always been not considered is wherein I see complaint against my manager stating that, my manager is sexually harassing me, because I am a woman and he is forcing me to stay back at office to complete work. Okay, or is forcing me to do this or that. In that scenario, because I have resolved those cases also, wherein that can, now. It is also important that you make it very, very clear that if you are a manager and you are facing a productivity issue, performance issue from any of the employee, it is important to first maintain proper documentation. A lot of times in India, it is seen that the supervisor fails to record such instances. As a result, so it can't be like a one-off thing. Like after 1 year of non-performance or 2 years of continuous non-performance, in the 3rd year you are blaming me that I'm not performing as per the organizational requirement. Then I think the communication is incomplete. There has been no feedback shared. Okay, but it is definitely not a case of sexual harassment.
Right.
Because there was no sexual conduct. I think there's some issue with the connectivity here. Am I audible to you?
I lost you in between, but I was just picking up what you were speaking.
Okay. So that's, I actually, so it is also another such cases wherein leave request, wherein, people usually go ahead and so that is the problem, wherein some people are going ahead and loosely recording such context. Yes, my request to it.
Right.
Okay. So my request to everybody is that whenever you are in doubt, just go ahead, walk up to your IC member or your HR professional, share the scenario, and they would be able to guide you whether the case qualifies or for to be considered under sexual harassment or not. And you can clearly say that I'm not really sure. And there's no harm in it because there are a lot of people who are confused in India. The entire thing that it is made as per the person who is experiencing it. It is something which is directly proportional to your experiences.
Right. I was just trying to put the entire thing into simpler terms, and I would just like to share that. And please let me know if I'm correct when I say that.
Yes, please.
Law बनाने का एक particular. So no, I was just parallelly thinking on some lines. पूरा लॉ क्रिएट करने का एक मकसद ये था कि हम लेवल कर पाए हर चीज को. There are times when there are some people who may not consider sexual harassment as some issue, and they may be very tolerant towards it. They would be like, हाँ ठीक है कोई बात नहीं हो गया. Then on the other extreme, there are also some people who get very easily offended. Probably that is not sexual harassment, but they get very easily offended. So इन सब को अलाइन करने के लिए एक यूनिफॉर्मिटी मेंटेन करने के लिए हमने लॉ क्रिएट करा so that we understand this is what is legal and this is what is not. So it is very important to check with the legal framework. Act में क्या क्या cover होता है, what exactly is sexual harassment. So we are in line. Our thinking process is in line with the legal framework. Having said that, we all know that there are some loopholes. हम उसको कंसीडर डेफिनेटली करते हुए ही आगे बढ़ेंगे. लूपहोल्स हर सिस्टम में होते हैं, हमारे सिस्टम में भी है. बट ये अवेयरनेस होना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि कई बार बहुत इजीली लोग ऑफेंड हो जाते हैं. बहुत कुछ लोग होते हैं जो बिल्कुल ही टॉलरेट करते जाते हैं. So that is the entire idea of creating such awareness programs. Am I right when I say that?
Yes, you are. You are 100% right when you say that. In fact, I wanted to add in. Now, remember I told you I created few poll questions. Now, one of the poll questions that I had posted is like, my manager asked me to doll up each time before we go for a client meeting. It doesn't feel right, okay? But because he's the boss, he knows right. Do you know how many people responded yes to it? 80% of my population thinks since the boss is saying to doll up, it is right. 80% of my population. And that is a true picture.
I am
Please,
surprised.
Guys, girls and guys, you need not doll up. And that doll up is, it's being a sex symbol. Okay? So never do that. Please understand these terminologies. If it is making you uncomfortable, question it. Get to a person who can, guide and advise you. Okay? But don't accept anything just because your boss told you it is right.
Correct.
And this is a very common scenario.
From the man's perspective.
Yeah, in fact, if you see specifically for people who are, freshers in the system, they really worship their managers. I am using the word worship because, yes, that person is a god for them because he or she is guiding them throughout the, entire system and answering their queries, questions, helping them get salaries on time and other stuff. God comes and tells you that, do something which is making you uncomfortable, please don't do it. Say no to it. I know saying no is very, very difficult. I have been there. Not once, but I would say thrice. So please, that's an unfortunate scenario. And please, if you can't say no, just try to move out. मतलब भाग पीछे छुड़ा लो आप, निकल जाओ वहाँ से. Just hide yourself at times.
And I think one point which you have mentioned, Vandana, when we're talking about freshers, and you mentioned that they worship their bosses, and it is usually true. What happens is they are not rightly trained to enter the professional setup. Although sexual harassment is wrong in all the age groups, in all the genders, बट स्पेसिफिकली वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड जब हम अपनी नॉर्मल स्कूल लाइफ से हम प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में एंटर कर रहे होते हैं, कॉलेज लाइफ से प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में एंटर कर रहे होते हैं, मैक्सिमम टाइम वी स्पेंड एट आवर वर्क प्लेस, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज डिसाइडिंग आवर एंटायर लाइफ, आवर एंटायर डे, आवर एंटायर शेड्यूल. हमारा पूरा माइंडसेट उस पर डिपेंडेंट होता है. ऑफ कोर्स वो फाइनेंशियल एस्पेक्ट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है जो हम वहीं से देते हैं. So it becomes all the more important to be fully aware of all these things when we are at workplace. Definitely ये हर age group और हर gender के लिए ज़रूरी है, but it's all the more, much more important during that time. And I see one question which is very nice. He has asked that how to report same gender harassment. And I think you have covered this topic, but if you would like to address again.
I want to now give another example.
Yes,
So, one thing which you learn, because see, I started being a posh, investigator when the act was not even into picture. That is way back in 2011. Okay, 2011, 2012 is when Vishakha guidelines was in picture. Which it was just the guideline, and I was resolving cases around it, and I was in Gurgaon. So that was the scenario. Okay, and so what happened was, this sales guy, okay, newly freshly hired sales guy, and after say around 6 months, he was aligned as a buddy mentor. So we had something called as a buddy mentor. So after, this will also give a sense of elevation and responsibility to freshers. So within 6 months, people who are performing good, they are given a role of a buddy mentor, who then, buddy up with the fresh campus recruits, and they are supposed to train them. So now, this fresh recruit whom he was budding up with, okay, comes up to me and says, my manager just grabbed my private part. I was taken aback, and this is like, because it was a BPO, it was around 2 a.m. in the morning, okay, and this is that was, I think, third or fourth day of his training, and this is same gender harassment I'm talking about, and I was taken aback, and then, because this guy who did it was only 6 months old in the system, so I spoke to him, I called him up, I said, did you do this? Yeah, my boss also did that to make sure that I do sales better. And yes, and that person who had trained him was somebody in the system for more than 12, 15 years.
Wow.
So yes, it does happen, and whenever this happens, please, whether you are, the sexual harassment is on same gender or different gender, it rarely matters. Sexual harassment is harassment. Please report it to IC, because that's the right channel. And you have to, and if in a scenario you do not have an IC, you can always write to the local, as I told, the local community, LC, which is the district registrar's office.
Right. And it's very important, especially for men, because at times, the way they are raised up in a way कि आप complain मत करो, be a macho, be strong, show masculinity, blah blah blah, and they don't complain.
As society, what was the patriarchal society? Tells that men cannot be raped, men cannot be harassed because they are powerful.
Right. Yeah.
That's not what the reality is. In fact, before I came live, I was actually watching few videos on Insta Live, and one of the channels was actually talking about wherein a guy was doing a stand-up, and he was narrating his experience. He's a student, and he had passed out, and he was given a lift by a auto driver, and on his way back, and he never thought about it, because before that sab bolte hai ki yaar, learn to say no. Guys usually tell you you have to be stringent, you have to be direct, tell them no. And then he actually faced a scenario wherein the auto rickshaw wala asked to show him his private part, and and he was taken aback, he was shunned, and that was a scenario, because it was an empty road, because you have to understand, most of the engineering colleges are usually built at remote locations, and people are traveling left, right, and center. So we have only 25 seconds left. So yes, it is no more related to, I would say, same gender or other gender. Just doesn't matter. What matters is your safety. If you're feeling